we will have a recap. We just started with the introduction, and we also defined what is a digital marketing, and we also studied the difference between what is the digital marketing and how it is differ from the traditional marketing, and we also differentiated the traditional marketing with the digital marketing, and after that we have studied the benefits of the digital marketing, and after that we also discussed one of the important topics to be covered under the digital marketing, that is search engine optimization, search engine marketing, social media marketing, email marketing, web analytics, etc. So these the topics we are going to study in the coming units, and after that we also started discussing how the digital marketing concept has been started, what is the history of digital marketing in India. This topic also we discussed, and we also saw some statistical data on how the online shopping growth is there. That also we have discussed in the previous class. This is the data we discussed in the last. And after that, we discussed the future. So how the future is going to be there for the e-commerce business, that we discussed. And after that, we also discussed the trends, isn't it? How the trends are there, latest trends like artificial intelligence, like chatbots are there. We have given the example of Amazon Alexa and iPhone Siri. These are the computer software which will convert your voice or text message into a meaningful content where it will understand your requirement and it will satisfy with the requirement. That is what the chatbot. And we also focused on some important channels. And after that, immediately we discussed in the previous class what are the digital marketing objectives. So 5 objectives we have discussed in the class: right audience, engage your audience, motivate your audience with the take action. Action is nothing but making the purchasing or buying decision, and focus on your advertising campaign, and try to focus on your return on investment. These are the important objectives as a digital marketing company you need to understand. After that, immediately, so now we'll go with the after this objectives. Now the important topic we are going to discuss is, so 2 topics are there here. So first, I'd like to discuss what is the digital marketing process and what is the digital marketing plan. So friends, so please try to listen carefully, because the entire strategy depends on the diagram, isn't it? Because if you understand the process, the strategy of the company, then it becomes easy when you make your digital marketing plan, isn't it? So, and we discuss one by one what actually a digital marketing strategy is all about, isn't it? So, what is a strategy? Always we talk about strategy. So, what is actually strategy means? How a company will develop a strategy and how a company will implement that strategy into the market. So, friends, if you see in the digital marketing strategy process, the first point. So, before just now we discussed the objectives, isn't it? So, the first point what you need to be understand is, so before you want to go with the strategy for strategy formulation, you must be very clear with your objectives, isn't it? So what is the first step? What are your objectives, isn't it? That how you are going to achieve your objectives. You must be very clear, isn't it? Because if you doesn't know who are your customers, isn't it? If you doesn't know who are your customers, you doesn't know who are the customers you need to target, isn't it? If you doesn't know about your customers and how to reach them, then it becomes difficult to apply the strategy. So the first point what you need to understand as a digital marketer is understand your marketing objective, isn't it? So, and before we go to the next continuation, what I would like to ask is, so already you have studied the marketing, the basics of marketing in your the previous semester. So friends, how you make the objectives, isn't it? How you make the objectives, so how these objectives are understood. So friends, you see these objectives, reaching the right audience, isn't it? Here the audience means either customers or client. How you reach, isn't it? So the main point you need to understand is what is your product, isn't it? And what is the price of the product, and what is the place of the product, and how you are promoting. So friends, I'm repeating 4 P's of marketing here. Even though you are doing the digital marketing or maybe traditional marketing, the concepts, the basics of marketing things remain same. You got my point. Are you clear with my voice?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
So whether you are going with
yeah,
the digital
yes,
marketing
sir.
or whether you are going with the online marketing, your basics will remain same. Is it clear? So before you start framing your objectives, what you need to understand is what is your product, what are your services, how much price you want to put it for a product or service, the place where it is available, and how you will promote. There you should think about your objective. If you are very clear with your marketing mix, the 4 P's, then it is easy to reach your audience, the right audience you can reach. For example, you are launching a matrimony website. Assume that you are launching I'm giving an example, you are launching a matrimony website. So you are developing a website which will, who are your target audience or target customers, isn't it? All the parents. Friends, please carefully listen the example. You are launching a matrimony website, isn't it? So all the MBA marketing students have formed a team, and they are going to launch a website. And what that website is, a matrimony website. And who are your target audience? Who are the right audience you need to reach? People, the parents who are ready to get their daughter or the son's marriage, and who are looking for a bride or bridegroom. For all those people, your website must be a target. Isn't it? You should target on them. So all your content should reach them, isn't it? And all, not only reaching, you should engage, isn't it? You should engage them with the different options, different features you need to add it to your website, isn't it? And also make the parents to involve in your website, where they can go with your matches which you have been placing in your website. Friends, it is simple example. So if you are the matrimony developer, you need to be clearly, you need to understand very clearly that what are your objectives. So the first point, before you go with a strategy, what you need to understand is what are your objectives, and these objectives will identify your KPIs. So friends, I'm using a word called KPI. What is KPI means? Key performance indicators. What are KPI means? Key performance indicators, isn't it? What are these key performance indicators? So every organization, whether it is a technology, may be your key performance, maybe your human resources may be a key performer, isn't it? Identify your performance, isn't it? For example, in your 5 member team, 2 people are good in computer programming, isn't it? So what is the advantage you have? You have a very good programmers in your team, and these programmers will elevate the content, will showcase the content in such a way in your website that people will engage with your website, isn't it? Friends, in your daily life, you will go to the various websites, but a few websites, you are very strict to that few websites. Just like, for example, social media networks like Instagram and Facebook, which they are making you to engage continuously. You will watch a video there, you can read the message there, and you can tag the content which you have liked, the tag, whether you like it or dislike it. Why all these are doing? Because they are their key performance indicators. So Facebook, Instagram, excellent pictures are there, isn't it? So those pictures are making you to hang on to that particular Instagram or maybe today Facebook. So friends, identify your KPIs, means what are your key performance indicators, isn't it? And these should have a link with your objectives. So before you start a marketing strategy, especially the digital marketing strategy, you need to understand your objectives, and those objectives should identify your KPIs, that is key performance indicators, and every performance should be measurable. So friends, I'm using one more word, I'm using here metrics, isn't it? I'm using one more word here, metrics. Metrics means measuring. I'll give one example. One of your friend of marketing, he want to search a mobile, isn't it? He want to search a mobile. So what he will do? He will open the Google, the search engine, and he will type his mobile, isn't it? So he want a smartphone below 10,000. So what he is typing in that particular box or the tab under Google, what he is typing? So mobile smartphone under 10,000. So immediately once you click on the search, the Google will display the list of websites who are ready to provide, ready to provide the mobiles which are under 10,000. A list you will display, isn't it? So page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, like that, all the pages you will display. So what we will do, we will click either on the first ranked website or maybe second, third, fourth, like that, we will see, isn't it? So what a company will think that Amazon will be there on the top and Flipkart will be there on the second, and some XYZ companies are there in the third, fourth, and fifth position. So how a company, Amazon, will measure how many people are visiting my website, isn't it? And by number of clicks the customers are clicking on the website Amazon, it will identify its performance, isn't it? It measures, means out of 100 customers, 70% of the customers are clicking on my website first. That is your performance indicator. You are performing well, isn't it? So always key performance indicators will help you to a simple example. You are listening to online classes from the last 2 weeks, and how many of you are listening with an interest? How many of you are just logging and you are throwing your mobile? I don't know exactly, but friends, those who are really interested, and what I want to do is, if I ask a poll question, isn't it? So friends, I'm giving a simple example where you can understand what is a metric means, how I can measure the metrics, isn't it? So some 10 students are listening my class today. Assume that 10 students are listening the class of digital marketing today. So I want to measure whether the students are genuinely they are listening my class, or simply they are chatting, or simply they are doing their other some personal works. I want to measure, isn't it? So for that purpose, what as a teacher, what I am doing is I'm going for a poll question. So the main objective and the purpose of a poll question is to measure the performance of the student. So what is the indicator I'm using here? I'm indicator a metric here. What is the indicator here? Poll question is an indicator, isn't it? And that poll question indicator suggests that out of 10 members in a class, 50% of the class has given right answer, and 50% of the class has given a wrong answer, isn't it? So what it means? It's a metric, it's a performance, isn't it? So what I can understand by that, only 50% of the students are able to understand my class, isn't it? So friends, before you go into the depth of the marketing strategy process or digital marketing process, what you need to understand, what are your objectives, and whether these objectives are is identifying my key performance indicators, and how I am measuring it. That is the first step as a digital marketing strategy process. you need to understand. Before we go to the second step,